Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's Coffee Ann on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning. It's March 5th, and my name's Joe Callahan. And a good morning to you. Around the Coffee Ann table, we'll say good morning to Linda Tebow. Good morning to you, Linda.
Good morning.
Nice to have Linda here. Also nice to be here, Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group. Good morning to you, Ed.
Greetings.
Greetings to you. All right. Before we get into all the heavy topics, well, not too heavy. Anyway, it's time for our first message. First message from the Carew Investment Group. So you're up, Ed.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. And if you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987, so you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor or work with an advisor based in Boston or New York or who knows where, probably someone you're never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to our office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free, no-obligation consultation to find out more about how we'll invest your money, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Asset Management. Make that Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Tough getting it all straight.
Oh, yeah, you know, it's early.
All right, thanks, Ed. All right, well, first things right off the bat, Linda, you have dealings with a lot of the nursing students.
I do.
From Rhode Island College.
I do.
Are any of them on the women's basketball team at Rhode Island College?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
It was a long shot.
Yeah,
But have they been talking to you about what's going on with the women's basketball team?
no, actually, no.
No?
No,
Wow.
I haven't heard. Well, first of all, my student, he's away for a couple of weeks now. They have, other things that they have to do.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't heard a thing. But aren't they something? They made it, huh?
Well, they're still playing.
They're still playing.
16 teams left
I know.
for the national championship in
Right,
their
yeah.
division. So
Yeah.
it's very exciting. They
Yeah.
play again this coming Friday. So I didn't know
great.
if your nursing students had been talking to you about it. And
No,
'cause
not
there must be,
really.
because there must be a buzz on campus.
Well, I'm sure there
about
is.
it.
I'm
And,
sure there is.
So
yeah.
it must be
Sure there
incredibly
is.
exciting. Well, next time you see them,
I will. Well, I'm
hey,
going
we're all-
to see Charge soon and see.
all right,
Yeah.
hey, we're all pulling for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
all around the states.
Definitely.
So that's great. So today is voting day in the city of Woonsocket. There's two candidates up for one position in the for the Woonsocket City Council. None of us live in Woonsocket, so we won't be voting in
Right.
Woonsocket today. But Ed, it's Super Tuesday for us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
They're in
yeah.
Massachusetts and
Yeah.
all the other. How many other states are involved in Super Tuesday?
I think they,
Dozen, I think.
Oh,
Is it?
yeah,
Oh,
a
it
It might even
bunch.
be
A
more
lot.
than that.
Yeah.
It might be 22. I don't know.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's a lot.
It was
That is
a
a
lot. If you looked at
More
the
than
map,
usual?
it was a bunch.
Oh, okay. Well, we're
Yeah.
Mass is in there, and Nikki Haley made her. She was here a couple of days ago
She was.
to
yeah.
make a please vote for me kind of thing. So we'll see what happens today. But polls are open in Massachusetts. Polls are open in Woonsocket, by the way, today. So we'll see. I still haven't convinced my daughter to go vote for
Vote
the
in the primary.
first time.
Yeah.
She thinks it's all very confusing. I'm like, that's why I said come with me.
Yeah.
I'll show you what to do. But she gets the day off from school today because they're voting,
Oh.
and they use this at the high school.
Oh, okay. That's
So
why,
they said,
yeah.
you know what? It's going to be primary day that day. Let's have a teacher development day
Mm-hmm.
on that day, and that way the kids won't be in school. They'll do whatever they have to do with the teachers, and the voters won't get in the way of the kids, and so
Right,
like that.
right.
So she just plans on hanging out with her friends. So they said they might go try and vote, the ones that can.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, it's funny, things are going to go bad. When I said, okay, well, when you get there, you're in precinct 2. I don't know what that means. All right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, they could probably, if they're not registered either. I mean, they're registered to
is.
vote, but not registered with a party, so she could
Not yet.
probably go and vote wherever she wants.
She would, yeah. Just go which
Yeah.
which ballot do you
Tell her
want?
to stay unaffiliated.
I know, but she probably she's not going to know to do that because I'm probably not going to be there.
Oh.
She's just going to go and say, which one do I pick? That? Well, who do you want? Well, she's
Yeah.
a kind of a Biden person,
Yeah.
and I said, well, you want the Democrat
Yeah.
ballot? Oh, okay. And you give the nice person the name and your street. Oh, street first.
Yeah, because you have to make sure you're in the right
Yeah,
place.
it's street, number on the street,
You don't
your
show
name.
you don't show a license.
no license in Massachusetts,
know
Ed,
that.
right?
That
Isn't
makes
that
it
it makes
crazy.
no sense.
No, it doesn't. We in Rhode Island
You do.
we show a license and we have right along.
And I've
I
there
like that.
were times I've forgotten, and I've had my license out,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
ready to go, and no one asks for it.
Oh.
I'm like, you don't need this? No. Wow. Because I've known, because if I really wanted to, and I think I've said this before, if I were to vote like at 11 in the morning, and then swing back like around 5 or 6, and maybe the people at the table have changed, okay, I could go up and I could vote again because my son was still on the rolls. Because I've adapted. I can read upside down,
Yeah.
and I'm looking down. I can see my name while they're trying to
Yeah,
find it. There I
sure.
am. There's my wife's name, but there's my son's name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I wanted to be devious, I could come back and vote again.
Yes,
I
you
have
could.
never done this.
But you know what? I bet people do that though.
I wonder if they do.
Yeah, well, that's how they ended up with, the dead people.
Dead
still
people are voting. That's right.
Yeah,
But without asking for the license
Yeah.
or some form of ID,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why why
Have
we
they
don't do
have
this.
they never? You've never?
I have never shown
never
an
shown
ID.
a license.
Ed, have you? I don't ever remember doing
No.
this.
No.
And it comes up every now and
Me
again.
too.
I was surprised the first time because
Yes.
I used to live in Rhode Island, and
Yeah, we
you
show
know,
You
a
had to show.
license. Yeah.
I was surprised. Yeah.
But it always comes up every now and then. And then the other side that doesn't want you to show a license, oh, it's discriminatory. I'm like, well, you got to do a license to do everything. Yeah, to catch a fish, you need a license.
You do.
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
So
Get on a plane.
get on a plane.
Yeah.
You need a license. You need an
Yeah.
ID of some sort. Why is this? Why
Well,
is
you
this
even
discriminatory?
going into a doctor's office, to make sure that's your insurance.
Yeah, because they take it and they scan it
They do. Yes,
to
they
make
do.
sure it's you.
It's you. Yeah.
So I don't
Except
know.
with one of the most important things that we do.
It's a free for all.
It's a free for all. Well,
Well,
and that's why you have issues.
Issue. That's why you should.
That's why we have issues with voting.
When the population is 10,000 and 11,000 people voted.
Something's wrong with that picture.
Something's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we'll see what happens today. So if you are registered to vote, please go out and vote today in Woonsocket. And if you're a resident of Mass, it's primary day. So get out there and see what you can do. Always like waving to the people that are standing there with their signs. Hello.
And people know who they're voting before they see that.
I know.
It's such
Who's
a-
making their decision
they're
right
not.
now?
They're
Oh,
usually,
a friend of mine's holding a sign. All right, I guess I'll vote for
yeah,
that person.
Perhaps.
Oh,
Occasionally.
this is the first sign I see.
No, occasionally that might happen, but mostly people know
Yeah, going in.
going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want to go in, you want to make it as quick as possible,
In and out.
and get out.
That's like, they used to hand out when I was running for office and we'd stand there and I used to say, why am I standing here? People know who they're going to vote. And and they used to hand out the information that's too late. It's too late.
But you as the candidate,
Yeah.
if you're not out at a polling
Yeah.
place waving,
Yeah.
are people going to say, well, where is she?
Does
she not
know.
care?
So I used to be there, but I remember sometimes with my sister, it's dark. I mean, we could have put a cardboard picture of us. Instead
Cut
of
out.
freezing there waiting, say, good morning, good evening, whatever. Yeah.
It's funny. It's tough to tell with the women, but with the men, between the people that are holding up signs, if someone there is in a suit, oh, you must be the candidate.
You're the candidate because you're all dressed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I still don't know who you are. So,
Right, exactly.
all right. So just make sure you get out and vote today. All right. Yeah. The next thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm upset about this. I didn't think I was going to be, but I am. This is Massachusetts, and the guy from North Dayton, Massachusetts, Jack Teixeira, pleaded
Yeah.
guilty
Oh,
yesterday
yeah.
Yes, yes.
to leaking military secrets. He pled guilty to 6 counts, willful retention and transmission of classified national defense information. You know, and what's odd about this, I don't even think he made any money off this. He didn't sell this information.
No, we just gave it away.
He gave it away for free on a social media site called Discord, which is used largely by people like to play games on the internet. And they're like, okay. So they obviously came up with some deal.
Yeah.
And so that's why he pled guilty. But it's the deal I'm not happy with.
Well, right.
No, 16 years.
16 or
years,
17
right.
years. That's the max. He might not even get that.
Well, I think
And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute.
Well,
he's 22.
he'll have a whole life ahead of him.
He's going to get out in his late 30s?
Yeah, but
All right, what's
he's
the
going to
but?
be court-martialed. He can
probably-
be court-martialed.
Well, he should be. He should be thrown out.
Well, no, but that could give him, when they're court-martialed for something like that, I would think they would get a little bit of jail time again, wouldn't they? I would hope.
Where was he?
It was federal. It's a
Federal court.
Federal court.
And he's going to federal prison.
Is he going to federal prison? He's not going to the stockade.
No, because they didn't court-martial him yet. He's going.
Well, there may be more to it once they court-martial him.
Well, that's what
And
they
he's also going to get a dishonorable discharge.
Well, that
Yes.
he'll
So
get
his
for
life
sure.
is
And
pretty
that's
much
forever
screwed.
And ever and
Yeah.
ever, amen. You're dishonorably discharged, but he could come up with some more time, because this is
So spend some time in federal prison, and
And
then
then
if he
he-
gets court-martialed,
he could end up with
he'll go
more
to
time.
Leavenworth and hang out there for a while.
Maybe. It's possible.
It's possible,
All right.
Unless,
unless they make another deal.
yeah, I mean, you don't know. They
Yeah,
make
but
these
usually
deals.
The Army
Yeah.
doesn't make deals, though, do they?
But but I don't know that the Army and the federal courts play
Work
games together.
Or are they separate?
I think
Well, I know they're separate.
they
Yeah.
are separate. Yeah. But that was mentioned that 16 years. Hopefully, he gets the full 16 years. But
But he might get just get 11.
That's treason.
I know. So I thought the deal he cut would be, all right, you don't kill me
Right, exactly.
for doing this. Okay, and now I'm thinking you're gonna, all right, fine, but 50
Like
years.
50 years, yeah.
And whenever I heard 16,
Well,
I'm like,
and his
what?
lawyer, but whenever, you know what fried me? When his lawyer said he was being a kid, he's 22 years old, he took an oath to preserve, serve and protect our country. No, you don't get, he's just a kid.
When you're in the Army, or
You're not a kid, yeah.
any of the armed
Yeah.
forces, you're not a kid.
Your days
You're
of
not
being
a
a
kid.
kid are over.
That's right.
But his
Yeah,
lawyer
plus,
said,
he had to have a secret clearance, a secret, or
High-
maybe a top secret security clearance.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know I did.
Well, there you go. And wow.
I know. Well, I think the whole thing, well, I mean, first of all, he does look like a little Boy Scout dressed up in his little uniform. He does. But, when the lawyer said that, he's just a kid. He was just doing, how do you say it? He's just doing some kid stuff.
This
Well,
is not with
hello,
national security
This is not kid
secrets.
stuff. This is treason.
This is serious.
This is
Heavy duty.
Domestic terrorism. Right.
And maybe the people that saw it, maybe they were just kids and
perhaps,
wanted
but-
nothing. I don't know. I can't use any of this
It
information.
doesn't matter.
But it was open to anybody that wanted
There's
to go
no,
see it.
to me,
It doesn't matter.
There's no excuse. There's no excusing what he
Yeah.
did.
So I
And
don't know
he's
who.
remorseful, his lawyer said.
Well,
He's
they-
remorseful.
Sure he is.
Yeah, I got caught.
I got caught. That's what I'm sad
He-
about.
He's remorseful that he got caught.
Yeah.
So
Right, yeah.
I'm wondering who came up with the deal. Obviously, it would be the prosecutors, I guess,
Yeah.
and not.
Well, he's just a kid. He's a good kid.
It's just a young guy. He's
Just a
never been in
young
trouble before.
No.
Let's more of that.
He's only 22.
So anyway, and so I wonder, Ed, you're a former serviceman, and I wonder what other people that are in the service now and retired service people are they upset with this deal of only 16 years? I know you can only talk about yourself, Ed, but thoughts?
It's not long enough for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, and Dave was very upset when all this happened.
Another serviceman.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
upset, very upset, very upset. That's treason, and it used
Yeah.
to be the penalty.
That's the biggest
There's
issue.
there used to be a very big
Yeah,
penalty.
that's
for
it.
treason.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So.
Yeah, no, Dave was very upset
And
when all
I've,
that happened.
I've talked to
yeah.
Rich Lane at Post 85, and he doesn't even, well, he knows about the sentencing now, but he was all big on I just want to get a hold of the kid and put us in a cell, just me and him, and for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
walk away
Yeah.
and come back.
Yeah,
come back
well,
later.
I think that's the reaction.
It is. It's
a
an
lot of the
emotional
guys,
reaction right
yeah,
off the bat.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, even I got to tell you, I was furious. And I'm
Yeah,
not a military person, but I'm an American citizen.
yeah,
Well, he may be in a bad way, even going to a federal prison, having once they all find out that
What he's
What
what
did?
he has done.
what he's done. No,
You know,
yeah.
it's just like a
absolutely.
pedophile going to
Yeah.
prison. Is
and he's not a very large guy.
He's a very little guy. He's
Yeah.
very slender.
He's very slender.
Very slender. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you could be in trouble there.
Yes, he could.
in
Yes, he
federal
could.
prison. And if he gets to Leavenworth, it'd be in even more trouble, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's the latest on that one. And the other thing going on before we get to that, we're gonna take a break, and then so good. This is a good time to take a break before we get into the next subject. So Ed, time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. You want a message? I got a
I
message for
do.
you. All right. The Carew Investment Group offers you personal management of investment accounts. And depending on what you're looking for, whether it be to enhance your current income, a 401k rollover, or retirement income, we'll put together a plan just for you. We focus on using quality dividend-paying stocks of companies that you know, investment quality bonds, and exchange-traded funds. And we also use the advantages offered by IRAs, the tax advantages. You can contact Paul or myself at the Carew Investment Group anytime for a free, no obligation consultation and portfolio review at 765-8880. Our office is at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket, and that phone number again is 765-8880. You can also send me an email to ed@carewinvestmentgroup.com or paul@carewinvestmentgroup.com, or visit our website at www.carewinvestmentgroup.com. A lot of Carew investment groups in there. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
That's good marketing, Ed.
Thanks so much.
All right, more coffee and coming away. Stay tuned.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON AM and FM.
And it's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. And stocks did well in February.
Yes, they did.
It is. So that's in March starting off okay?
Yesterday was okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was the Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P were down yesterday, all three. Not a lot, just a little bit. But January was a really good month. February was a really good month. So far, it's too good. Okay?
okay,
You
so
need
it's
to
a
have a
tip
little
bag.
bit of time to
Yeah.
digest some of these gains. So.
Okay. We'll see what happens for the month of March. All right, the other big thing going on in Massachusetts. So the school committee in Brockton, Mass. Sends a letter to the governor. Things are so out of control at Brockton High, we want the National Guard to come in. Because we can't handle it, and the police force, is got to do the rest of the town and city. So we need help, and we want the National Guard to be here. And our wonderful governor, Ed, said no.
No.
You don't get it. Figure it out on your own.
But you gave them money to do an audit.
Oh my God! Yes, you're absolutely right, Linda.
Count the bodies in the hallway.
she gave
You
them-
threw
when
money
I
at
heard
her.
that, she said she gave them a grant
Yes.
to do an audit. I said, well, that's really going to help.
You're right.
Okay, go ahead.
There's more.
No, I know.
Okay. So the kids at Brockton High, mostly the ones causing the trouble, when they find out that the National Guard is not coming, woohoo! This goes back to, and it's an old cliche, but it fits so perfectly. The inmates are running the asylum
Yeah,
at that school, that particular school, and another incident yesterday.
really.
Yep. Officials say a staff member was injured yesterday trying to intervene in a fight between students, and not but just between two students. You know, it's probably this group against that group.
Gang against gang.
Maybe. This is the latest in a series of violent incidents at the school, which led the city officials to call for the National Guard. Brockton High is the largest in the state with over 3,600 students. Wow, that's bigger than Boston? I didn't know. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I told you once.
I know the building
years
is
ago
monstrous.
that it was the biggest high school in the country at one
It was
point.
at one point.
At one point, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So now what do you do?
Do the audit.
Do the audit. So you do an audit, and
Yep,
then you
yep. Another one happened. Yep. Somebody got hurt.
Make a little
Put that-
tick
Put
mark.
that in your notes.
All right. So
Yeah.
now we've done the audit, and we find out this is the problem. But how do you fix the problem? And you're not going to fix a problem with an audit. Hey, kids, read this. Now cut it out.
Cut it out. No, I know.
I've talked to other people, and I don't know. Should we have the National Guard there? And what kind of tone is that set? And what about other schools?
Right.
And it's setting a precedent. And I said, yes, but there's something really wrong here
Yeah.
that needs to be taken care of. And now the kids are like, well, you know, we can do
Do what we
whatever
want.
we want.
Yeah. While they study. What's wrong?
Well, while we study what's going on.
Yeah.
And I was always for let's send them in and see what happens.
Yeah.
And does it quell things? Does presence of the National Guard? And I don't know how many you send. Do you send 20? Do you send 50? Are they armed? Are they not armed? I don't know. But do you send them in full uniform? So you know these are the police for now. To be hall monitors, to be bathroom monitors, to hang out in the cafeteria. I don't know where the fights are taking place.
Well, where they gather.
And
you know.
does it become a military institution? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But does it stop the fights?
Perhaps.
Maybe it does.
Perhaps.
Or maybe they get the people
Yeah.
that are causing the bad situations. Maybe they get a hold of them, get them out, and things could be better.
And I'm sure that is Brockton a city or a town?
City.
It's a city.
City. But do they? I wonder. The police force probably isn't large enough to put more than just a resource.
Brockton has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they do. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not just the school.
So it's
You
the
know,
whole
city,
the whole
those
city.
the whole city.
Yeah, I know they say
those
don't
kids
go
did
there.
not learn how to behave that way by going to school.
No, they brought that with them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it goes back to should we try the National Guard?
I don't know.
Ed,
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I would like to see it. I would
Above
like
my
to see it
pay
tried.
grade.
I would like to see it tried. And I know that it's the way they do it in Mass. The mayor is the school superintendent or something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
president of the school committee or
Yeah.
something like that. I'm like, well, that's odd, but it's the way it's done in a lot of towns in Mass, not in mine for whatever reason, but so yeah, it's just gonna if they don't do something, if they don't bring in some kind of more security of some sort, the incidents like this last one that just happened are going to continue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's obvious that they need more security, more
Yes.
more action, more action.
But where do we get the security?
Bingo, I don't know. You know, that's the thing. Is it National Guard? Is it
Do you hire a private security
private
system?
securities?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah, I
about
don't
that.
know.
Then
That's-
hire
that's-
private
yeah.
security, then you
Yeah.
know that somebody is going to press charges against the private security
they
for
are.
excessive force.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
no question in my mind
Yeah.
that that would be the
Yeah.
next step that would
Like
happen.
a family will sue?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, they would even do that, though. I mean, even with police. I mean, you see that all the time. Even like a police or resource officer or somebody trying to break it up, they're going to say, "Oh, my child, he didn't do anything wrong," and you know, and they'll sue.
yeah, but
they'll
can
sue
you-
the school committee and the town and the everybody too.
yeah, but can you sue the National Guard?
I don't know. Yeah. Who do you
No,
sue?
but, they need some action, obviously.
Yeah.
They need some action. They need some security
Do you?
to keep the rest of the kids safe that want to learn. I would think there are some that do want to still go to school and learn.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
authority that I can think of, and that's not their job to take care of schools, would be the
I know it's not.
Massachusetts State Police.
State police, yeah.
All right.
But they do need.
But I mean, these guys are busy.
Yeah.
Yes, they've got other duties to be
Yeah,
concerned
yeah.
with. Same with the police in Brockton. You got to patrol the rest of the city
Yeah,
and try to keep it safe
it's really
as
a
best they
dilemma.
can. Yeah. Have you ever driven through Brockton, Linda?
No,
All right.
no.
If you don't have to.
You don't
you
have to, I won't,
Please
no.
don't. It's just any way to get. It's just to get through to get to Avon, you gotta go through Brockton.
Yeah.
So it's just, and do they still have the Brockton Fair every summer? Ed?
Yep.
Wow,
And
that used to
is
be
there
a lot.
no
of,
trouble there?
Oh, there's always
Oh,
trouble
there's
there.
always
Oh,
trouble
okay,
there.
okay.
There's always trouble
There's
there.
always trouble. Oh, okay.
You don't go at night.
Okay.
It's not actually the fair's not bad in the daytime for little kids. Little kid rides and things
Yeah.
like that, and that's a good time. They used to have demolition derbies there and
Yeah.
and things like that. But nighttime got a
Not
little
so good.
rough
Yeah.
around there.
I go to a nice fair. You go to the Marshfield Fair.
Yeah,
Isn't-
a little farther away,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, well, on the good note, 5 Rhode Island school districts are ranked among the 250 best in the country, according to an online education company. Test Prep Insight questioned 3,000 parents and compiled a list 250 most envied districts. North Kingstown is 7th out of 250. Not bad. East Greenwich is 21st. Lincoln is 179th. Barrington is 227th.
Really?
South Kingstown 228th. 5 districts in Connecticut, 6 in Massachusetts also made the list. I don't think Brockton was one of them.
I'm pretty
No.
sure.
You have to feel bad for those kids that
That one.
want to learn, and the parents of those kids, and it's too
And
bad.
it's such a. I'm sure some of them get it. Some of the kids get it. The only way to get out of this situation of living in Brockton and getting out of this city is to get an education and go to school and get a decent job
Yeah.
and get out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're there with all these distractions going on,
Yeah.
are you getting the education to get the good grades to get out of to graduate to get out?
No, probably not. No.
So, all right. So, and the other problem is the steps to try to expel a student now is nearly impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they tell teachers not to interfere with kids fighting. Back to we're going to get sued.
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. Or get hurt.
Oh, you could get hurt too. So
But even to your point though, it's generational. They've learned this behavior.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it starts young.
from the time they were little, and
It's not the whole city that's like that. There are some nice areas in Brockton.
really.
Yeah.
But all right. So back here in Rhode Island, let's see. Oh, we had I had a press release. Yes, man from according to Attorney General Peter Nerona, socket man sentenced in Providence County Superior Court, going to serve 20 years at the ACI for a violent first-degree robbery at an LA Fitness parking lot in April of 2022. This took place in Providence or North Providence. The defendant, Anthony Richardson, pleaded guilty to 1 count of first-degree robbery and 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree robbery. The defendant also entered a guilty pleas, resolving several other pending cases, including larceny and things with carrying a gun and things like that.
20 years?
He got 20 years, more than
the guy that did
treason
the
guy.
treason.
Treason
Yeah.
kid. Oh,
Doesn't-
he was just a kid.
This is just a kid. He's only 21.
Oh, there you go, another kid. Okay.
hmm
And you got 20 years though.
Yeah. The state was prepared to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Defendant arranged to purchase a gold chain from a victim he met through Facebook Marketplace and robbed the victim in the LA Fitness parking lot that was in Providence. And that's why police stations have set up I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if North Smithfield does it. Woonsocket does. If you're going to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, the meetup place is the police station. And I don't know, I got a blender to sell you. So we're going to meet there. I give you the blender and you give me the money and everything is fine.
That's a good idea.
And so, but if it's something nefarious going to go on, if someone says, well, I don't want to meet at the police station, well, then maybe you don't want to sell it to them.
You don't want to sell it to you. Yeah.
So-
No, that's a good idea, though.
It is, and quite a few police stations have set up,
Yeah.
and I've seen them. The parking areas are actually, there's signs up.
Yeah.
Really?
Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace
Yeah.
parking. And so then this is where you wait, and it's usually very close to the door.
What a good idea.
And I'm sure there's a camera.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
pointing
sure.
right at
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah.
that someone
I'm
from
sure
the
there are
inside
cameras.
can see
Yeah.
what's going on. So
Monitor what's going on.
yeah, so I've never seen them in use, but I'm sure it takes place.
Wow, good idea.
So but this one didn't go quite so well.
Guess not.
So,
See,
yeah.
he didn't get to make a deal.
No. He actually got 40 years with 20 years to serve.
Was a weapon involved? A weapon was involved. It's a,
You did say something about a weapon.
yeah, I thought you did. Yeah.
Rob the victim. Can I find it? It just says a violent first-degree robbery.
Violent. Robbery.
Those were his other cases. He
Oh.
had other cases pending. And according to the Attorney General, the defendant committed multiple acts of robbery and larceny, one of which caused the victim significant bodily harm. He's a real threat to public safety.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why he got 40 years, 20 are
20 to
suspended.
serve. Oh wow.
So back to Teixeira, he got 16 years
16.
because he's not a threat
He's not.
to public safety. Not
Really?
Well,
He's a threat to national security.
Well, that's
but-
different.
But it's okay, not to public safety.
yes,
Wow.
because he's not walking around with a knife or
No,
a
he's
gun
not,
or
but
something
he's-
like that, threatening your life.
Just.
He's just selling secrets to the Ruskies, as they used to say.
Just putting, committing treason.
Not selling, he's giving it to them. Well, he should have at least
Yeah.
made money on it.
Jeez, at least.
Probably would have got more time in jail if you
Yeah.
sold the stuff, sold the weapons.
Like,
sold the
which
secrets.
which site on the Discord server was he posting this stuff?
I don't know.
If it's a game site, that's one thing. If it's some other sites, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
First of all, I've never heard of this site.
Uh-huh.
So and I've never been to it, so I don't know how it's set up and where you can go and what else is available on
You
that
know,
site.
when I heard Discord, I thought that's where all the kids that have, that don't unhappy with themselves or, with
Yeah,
like
I
those
can see
cult
that.
kind of
Yeah.
things, where there are bad things happening and trying to recruit the kids because
Well,
they're not happy.
There's always new and different.
That's what I thought that was.
There's always new and different social media sites that pop up because there's always the kids because once their parents take over their social media site, they have to move someplace else.
Right. Yeah.
Got to get away from where the parents are coming.
Yeah.
It's happened to Facebook.
Yeah.
It happened to Twitter. And the kids keep moving.
Yeah.
The parents haven't really taken over TikTok yet, but it's going to happen, and then they'll have to go someplace else. All right, time for a break here on the Coffee and Program. More coming your way. It's time for the forecast, which is being brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Rain today, mainly in the afternoon, high of 47. A quarter of an inch of rain is possible during the daylight hours. Tonight, cloudy skies, northeast winds, becoming southwest after midnight. 60% chance of more rain, another tenth of an inch overnight. Wednesday's weather. Rain is likely, 60% chance, mostly cloudy, high near 62, with a quarter to a half an inch of rain possible on Wednesday. And a flood warning has been issued by the National Weather Service from midday Wednesday through Thursday night. Wednesday night, 90% chance of rain. Thursday, 80% chance of rain, high of 47. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 47 and a north wind up to 30 miles an hour. Saturday, a 30% chance of more rain, mostly cloudy skies all day with a high of 46. And on Sunday, rain, high of 49.
All right, thank you. Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with mostly cloudy skies. We have 45 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with REMAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
What would you do with $300 in cash? To find out, play the Valley Breeze ON Radio Squares contest all this week, exclusively in the Valley Breeze newspapers and right here on ON AM and FM radio.
Coffee In on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, talking with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow, just talking about my fun planning of a Disney World trip I have coming up. Ed laughed at me. Worst place you could ever go. Thanks, Ed.
One of the 20 worst places.
1 of the 20. Oh, okay. What was the worst? What was the
I
one,
don't
you know?
I don't remember. I looked at him and said, well,
Not
not
going
going.
there.
I wouldn't go to those places anyway.
This is funny. This it bugs me a little bit about Disney because they try to come off as being, oh, we're going to do this for you.
Yeah.
And then a couple days later, they do something where it makes them sound bad again. And this is what they did for next year. This is for anybody that's going to go in the year 2025. This is not. It does not pertain to this year at all. So if you go in 2025 and you stay at one of their resorts, this doesn't. If you stay off campus, it does not apply. 2025, stay at one of their resorts. On the day you arrive, here's a free ticket for you and your group to go to one of their water parks, Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon, for free. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's the first nice thing they've done in quite a while. Mm-hmm. Within 2 days, here comes another press release from Walt Disney World. We're raising our ticket prices.
There you go.
I go, then, I'm like,
Somebody's
so
going to pay for that
still,
free
I'm
ticket.
still paying. You're still paying for it. Nice try. Still gonna go. I'm still gonna have fun.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It
I
just-
haven't
blame you.
been in a long time.
The only thing that bugs me is that, well, there's a few things, but there's certain rides that are just down. And they call it refurbishment. The Rock and Roller Coaster won't be running when I'm there. One of my favorite rides.
Yeah.
And the Country Bear Jamboree is down. They're redoing it and bringing in new songs. The show's 40 years old. I guess it's time to redo it. The only thing that's coming, I got my fingers crossed because they decided to redo Splash Mountain. I don't know if you did you hear the controversy?
No.
You know the controversy surrounding
No.
Splash Mountain?
No.
Well, it's themed around the Disney movie Song of the South.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Go ahead.
So the informed community, Song of the South is discriminatory.
I see.
Okay.
You have to see the movie in order to see it. But the ride just deals with the cartoon characters
Yeah.
in the movie. But anyway, Disney said, okay, fine. Close the whole thing down. We're going to reimagine it. That's what they call doing it. There's another Disney movie out called The Princess and the Frog, which is actually a very good movie. And they're going to retheme it to that movie. Okay. And so they've done a lot of outside work. So Princess and the Frog takes place in New Orleans, so it's a lot of bayou stuff. So they made it look like the bayou. It's still the same ride. It's still a log flume ride. It's going to take the same course and have the big drop at the end, but everything on the inside is going to change. So they closed it down. They initially said this will reopen in late 2024. I'm going to miss it. Then they announced it's going to open in summer 2024. Oh. Now, what's summer?
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be 4th of July. Could be Memorial Day. And then they changed it again. It's going to open in 2024.
Then they changed it to the week after Joe leaves.
That's right. They've contacted me. When are you coming again? But now they don't show you what's going on the inside. The outside looks all fine, and all the scaffolding has come down. They've even added water back to it, and they're running the logs with no people on them as tests
Right.
to run through. I'm like, this is looking good.
Good.
I'm about 7 weeks out, maybe. And I said this to my daughter. I said maybe they'll have a soft opening. Hey, the ride's up and going, so go ahead and ride it. We'll have the big hoopla that it's open to the public. If I was there, Memorial Day weekend. But in the meantime, it's beginning of May.
Perhaps.
For who's ever here, you're the lucky ones. You can ride it before the big grand opening. That is I will let you know what happens.
Good. Okay. Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers
that it's
crossed
open
for me.
you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So that's it's funny. Years ago, I went there on my honeymoon with my wife. And when we got there, Pirates of the Caribbean was
Oh, yeah,
closed down for refurbishment. And we didn't know this at the time. There was no internet then. You just showed up, and what was running, and that's the way it is. And so, and Disney's very good. They station people outside the ride that's closed just to tell people we're closed. And we were walking by, and there was someone there, and the sign just says, closed for refurbishment. So I asked the guy, the cast member that was there, I said, how long is it going to be down for? And this is a quote. Oh, not too long, about 6 weeks. And I said, how long do you think I'm staying here? We did not ride Pirates of the Caribbean on my honeymoon. I'm only here for a week. So anyway.
Should take a rain check.
Yeah. Is it expensive to go? You betcha. Especially if you don't have, everything's a little less pricier if you bring kids, but it's for adults going.
Yeah. No.
This time, so
yeah.
it's real expensive. Oh, not only did they give free water park, but the prices of the tickets are going up, and their dining plan is also going up
Of course it is.
for next year.
Yeah. I don't know how people. Well.
It's funny. I was thinking of actually doing their dining plan, and until I actually sat down, and it's about $95 per day per person. Okay, and that gets you. You can sit down at a restaurant with a waiter or a waitress. It gets you one meal where you get a tray. You get a refillable mug too, and but it was $90. Oh, and there's some snack in there too. $95 per person. So 95 times 4 times 7.
Wow.
I'm like, all right.
2,800
That's right. So then I had to go. But then I took
roughly.
I took time and I figured out. Well, if we eat here, and I was looking at menus and writing things down, and then started adding everything up. I said, if we do it my way and not their way, I'm going to save $1,000. I was shocked. It was so far off. I'm like, wow. And they said, and I saw videos on it. And they said the only reason to do. They said, keep this in mind. The dining plan is great, but don't think you're going to save money. You might. The only thing it's there for is convenience. You've paid ahead. You don't have to worry about bringing
Right,
money for
yeah.
food. It's all set and paid for, and you're done. I said you're absolutely right. It's very convenient. But if you think you're saving money, you might not. And in my case, I wasn't going to. I'm like, wow, what a difference. Okay. Anyway, back away from my vacation now. Down in Hopkinton, Mass, loud explosions were heard over the weekend. So loud they were heard in neighboring towns. So, no injuries were reported in the incident, but it did snarl the 911 system because so many people were making reports that they're hearing these loud explosions. And so they arrested a 20-year-old man. Daniel Bill told officers he and others, I don't know who the others were, but they only arrested one, were setting off tannerite. Tannerite.
Yeah.
I don't know what this stuff is. TANNERITE.
Yeah. I don't know. What
I don't know what the explosion is. Okay. And the explosion can be heard in other towns. So this man has been charged, fined, released, and others could also be charged in the ongoing investigation. I guess you got to name names, and we'll go after these guys. But I wonder how he was setting them off. Was he mixing it with something else? I don't know. Growing up, there was a kid in my neighborhood. He used to do stuff like this, not quite to this extent, where it's being heard, but he used to like, and I don't know how he never got hurt. It always amazes me to this day. He would mix gasoline and chlorine to make explosions, and they did explode. I was always told when I had a swimming pool, my father was very specific. You could add chlorine to water, but not the other way around, or it'll blow up. And he was adding gasoline to chlorine, and never got hurt, never caused any real damage, but they were pretty loud, pretty big bangs. So this must be bigger. Whatever. If anyone knows what tannerite is, I'd love to hear it. And why does it explode? And what do you use it for?
And why do you want to do that to begin with?
No, that's an easy question.
Yeah.
20-year-old man, 20-year-old kid,
Here we go.
20-year-old boys,
Here we go.
18, 19, 20-year-old guys love to blow things up.
Oh my God.
Ed, right?
I can't remember that far back.
I don't know.
We're not involved. We're not involved in any kind of sports. We don't. Maybe we have a job. Maybe we don't. But to blow off the extra
I
testosterone.
don't remember. I had a 20-year-old kid. I don't remember him doing.
Well, maybe they don't want. They don't.
stuff.
I didn't want to blow things
Yeah,
up either.
yeah.
But to stand around and watch someone else do it, and that's why car crashes or races are a blast.
Wow.
Men like to go see that kind of stuff
Okay.
and watch things blow up and crash.
All right,
And
if
how
you
much
say-
destruction can we do with actually not hurting ourselves?
Okay. If you say so, Joe.
We got a note called in 766-1240. Kamala Harris calls for a ceasefire in Israel. Well, get in line, I guess. It ain't happening. They aren't going to listen, and they don't care. Yeah, I don't understand why we're calling for a ceasefire. If there was an issue in the United States and someone in Germany said, "Hey, America, you shouldn't be doing that," are we going to listen to them?
No.
No.
No, she came across. Well, she was. Where was she going? She was on one of those photo op tours that she goes on, that they go on.
Yeah.
And and ceasefire right now. Kind of a thing.
Or else.
Or else. Or else.
Or else.
Or else.
Or else what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been a little bit more in the public eye in the
notice
past
that?
couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, she's helping to campaign and.
Still
But
holding
she-
true, Ed?
I was sticking to my.
Sticking to your guns? Okay.
Well,
I didn't want to say guns, but
It's going to be Gavin Newsom.
that's who I say.
It'll be a Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris ticket, and not a Joe Biden ticket. That's what Ed thinks.
I didn't say Kamala Harris either.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. That's even better. But I think if that's why she's out there. Hey, remember me when Joe Biden decides not to run? I'm right here.
I hope not. I hope not.
Well,
But I notice she
she'll,
is.
she'll do it. She'll
She
take
is
it.
sitting with the,
With the higher ups, the
with
bigger.
higher ups and
the bigger
demanding the ceasefire right away for 6 weeks.
Listen to me. Look who I am.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
All right.
I'm not impressed.
All right, more. We're going to take another break here on the Coffee program, but more's coming your way. If you want to hear about my vacation, please let me know. 766-1240.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
This is Tim Draper from Navigant Credit Union. I'm inviting you to an important discussion on how to safeguard you and your loved ones from financial fraud, exploitation, and cyber theft. Come join us at the Elks Lodge on Social Street on March 14th at 10 a.m., where we will have a panel of experts discuss how to protect you and your finances. We'll show you what the latest scams look like, we'll talk about how to protect yourself, and what to do if you think you are a victim. Space is limited, so please call Amanda LaRose at 233-3108, or you can email her at ce@navigantcu.org. Don't wait, space is limited. Hey, you know what? We'll even buy you lunch right after for attending. Hope to see you there.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON Radio. This is Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow, Ed Carew. They just want to sit on the beach in Aruba and do nothing.
Exactly.
I come home more exhausted from my
Well, I bet you
vacations.
do. You work so hard.
And it is go, go, go.
Yeah.
There's no sleeping till like 10 in the morning. No, you're up at 6.
Oh, I'm up
It's
at
go,
6
go,
in
go,
Aruba.
go, 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 go. All right.
I'm by the pool at 6:15.
The oldest known person in the world just turned 117.
Wow.
How about that? Maria Brañas Morera celebrated the milestone on Monday in a home in Spain. Initially, she was born in San Francisco in 1907. But the family decided in 1915 to return to Spain. Spain was involved in World War I, weren't they?
I think so.
They mu-
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know why you would, unless you go back to fight, someone in the family went back to fight, why you would return to a country that was at war. We weren't in the war at that time, at that point. But anyway, they returned to Spain in 1915, and she's lived there ever since. And she's now officially the oldest known living person after the death of a French nun last year at 117.
Wow.
I owe it all to clean living, and they always ask these people, how do you do it? I don't know.
I drink wine every day.
I drink wine every day, pack of cigarettes every day. No. So, weird thing going on in Oklahoma. It was a fundraising event at an Oklahoma public school. It's going viral after the kids licked peanut butter off the feet of other students.
Ew.
That's what a lot of people are saying, Linda. The
It's a
kids.
fundraiser.
I don't know how it's a fun unless I'll give you $10 if you lick peanut butter off my
my
feet and you
God.
do it. So it's $10. Kids at Dare Creek High School outside of Oklahoma City licked peanut butter off the feet of fellow students. The Oklahoma superintendent of schools, not amused,
Well, I would think.
is vowing an investigation, calling the event filth. Now, the school released a statement saying the students involved had signed up for the fundraiser. They weren't being forced to do this. They wanted to do this. It brought in more than $152,000. That's a lot of peanut butter.
Who developed the fundraiser, does it say?
It's for a coffee shop that employs people with developmental disorders.
That's
So the money goes to a good thing.
lovely cause.
I just
Yeah, but here's the money. I don't eat. I love peanut butter, but I
you got to draw the line somewhere.
yeah, really.
I'm allergic.
I'm allergic. I just became allergic, right?
Well, someone's not allergic there in Oklahoma. If they're raising $152,000.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of money, and that's a very good cause. But
Yes.
Wow.
who developed
I-
the fundraiser, you wonder?
I never thought of something like this. Usually, you sell candy bars or you
Sure.
you have a dunk
sure.
tank or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Your usual thing, but this is a different one. So, okay,
Alrighty then.
Remind me
Yeah.
not to go to Oklahoma.
stay out of Deer Creek High School.
Yeah. Wow.
Here's another thing that the kids are doing, and this mostly takes place in New York City. They're bored, so they have nothing better to do.
Sure.
So they do a little subway surfing. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah.
I don't. What?
You ride the
They
subway,
ride on the roof of the
but
subway
you're on the
car.
roof of the
no,
subway
you do
car.
not. How did? No.
Yes, they do. Of course, it's deadly,
Well, of course it is.
and but the kids like doing it because it's thrilling and exciting, and it's mostly boys that do this. And I bring it up because the police in New York have busted what they consider the youngest child to do this. Usually, it's your 16 to 20-year-olds doing it. 10-year-old boy. For this dangerous stunt known as subway surfing this past weekend. So the officials tell the New York Daily News the preteen was the youngest person in recent memory to be caught performing the often deadly practice of riding on top of subway cars.
How do they? I mean, people must see them do that and say, "No, you can't," and pull them down. Or how does that? how do they get away with that?
Well,
I
how many
guess?
New York subway officers are there?
I have no idea. I've never been on
They
a subway.
can't be enough. And if you're just riding the subway, and the kid, steps on the window to hoist himself up to the top, are you going to stop him? I'm not. I'm just. If you want to be an idiot, be an idiot. So okay. Let's see. Where was I?
Talking about idiots.
Idiots. That's right. Cops say the kid was on board of a roof of an A train on elevated tracks around 6:30 Sunday evening. So he was arrested, detained for a little while, and then released to his mother's custody. And it's probably not the first time he's done this. Hey, this is fun. It's easy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's free if you hop over the turnstile.
Wow.
And a little bit of an excitement. And I don't think they do this in Boston,
Yet.
Ed. There's
Tell them how to
There's
do
too
it.
many. The tunnel is too close. I don't even think you can lay down on top of the car
Oh, really?
in some of the subway tunnels of Boston without getting hit. So I don't know. People do crazy things for fun. What they think is going to be fun. All right. So Pete has got nothing better to do. People for the ethical treatment of animals.
Yeah.
They're going to protest the Iditarod, the dog sled race up in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like it. Protesters with PETA are making their voices heard in an effort to end the Iditarod. About a dozen people, okay, that's not a lot. That's not a big protest. About a dozen people were staged in Anchorage at the ceremonial start of the race in Willow for the... Let me read that sentence again. But a dozen people were staged in Anchorage at the ceremonial start of the race and in Willow for the official start. Oh, okay. So 6 people in Anchorage and 6... This is really not a big
stand.
demonstration at all.
Yeah.
PETA says the Iditarod is inhumane and has resulted in the injury, illness, and the deaths of sled dogs. The organization has asked sponsors to pull their support, and they promise to demonstrate throughout the duration of the race. Sled dogs love doing this. That's what they were bred for.
They do like it.
They
I
l-
mean, I love dogs, and but they do like to run.
Yep,
They do like to run.
and it's I understand it's a long race,
It is.
130 miles,
Yeah, it is.
and
But
it goes over a couple of days. I get it,
But sometimes they change.
and they change
They
dogs,
change the dogs. It's true. Yeah.
and it's not like they don't get to rest.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
And eat and everything. Are there accidents? Do some get hurt? Well, probably.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. And I don't know what the race must raise money for something, and I don't know what, but all I know is so and so wins it. This person has won it this year. Oh, okay, that's nice.
Well, that's in honor of the what was the name of the dog that saved that town by getting the penicillin.
I only know it from the movie.
Yeah, but that's
Disney movie, Ed.
yeah, but that's
Balto.
yes.
Yes.
And I mean, and that race.
Yeah, they cover the same ground.
Is covering the same, and
That
it's
the
kind of
musher
like,
and the dog
yeah,
got
and,
the
and in
penicillin
honor
back.
of that dog that
Yeah.
that led that.
That there's a statue of that dog. You know where it
Yes.
is?
Where
Central Park in New York.
really?
Why is it there?
I don't know.
I don't know either,
I
but
don't
it's in
know.
Central Park.
Well, you know the thing, and I love dogs
Mm-hmm.
with all my heart and soul, and I always say, oh, the poor things, but they do like to run. They do like to do that from the time they're little.
Yeah.
They do like to do that, or so it seems.
Mm-hmm.
They never told me. But it
Well,
seems-
people always say that about greyhounds when they're racing. I go, but they like to run.
well, they do like to run, but I think the thing with the greyhound racing, though, there was so much
Cheating?
cheating and a lot of bad people
Oh, okay.
that were running those dogs,
What
and they
about-
were not well cared for. And
What about horses, Ed? Would you say horses are animals that like to run?
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
thinking like horse
Yeah,
racing.
yeah, they like to run. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about horse racing,
horse racing is?
Okay.
but they like to run in a field and things.
And
Yeah.
just gallop around.
Yeah, I mean, they'll run around in our yard,
Yeah.
They don't run around in the corral, but they would run
small.
around in the field when we'd open
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
corral doors, corral gates. they would run all over the place. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But once again, it's in horse racing too that there are a few bad apples that with the
Well, sure.
Yeah, and then you
and
get
that's how they end up.
you get a
getting
lot of
hurt. Exactly.
other stuff that isn't good for the horses
That's right.
that race it. They'll inject them with steroids
That's what I mean.
and do
All
other
that-
types
all
of things
that,
because you get greed that gets in there. And
Well,
they're-
and I think that
know?
was the same deal with the greyhounds too.
yeah, I think
Because
so.
greyhounds love to run. I mean, if you watch them, but yet if you see them, like when they do the rescue, I've known a few people that
Yeah.
had, and they were the most gentle,
Yeah, very
walk on a
docile.
leash because they're used to that, and the best in the world,
Yeah.
pets. But it's the bad apples that don't treat them well.
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, that cause the problem.
When we used to go on trail rides, I would always let Amigo go.
Right.
I mean, he
Let
would,
them run.
yeah,
Yeah.
he would walk and he would canter, he would trot and stuff like that. But I know he wanted to go. I could feel he wanted
feel
to go,
He
and I
wanted
would
to
just
run.
relax on the reins and say, "Go, Amigo,"
And then off he went. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd let him run for, a good distance.
Yeah.
Like get it out of his system.
Sure.
He was he was good like that.
Yeah.
And another thing, you mentioned the dog, dog race.
Yeah.
In Freetown State Forest, we were riding there one day, and there were people with dog sleighs, but the sleds had wheels on them because they were training for the
okay.
winter.
For the Iditarod. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what race they were training for,
Yeah.
or even if it was a race, but there were several groups. There were groups of people with dogs and
Yes.
the
Yeah.
sled, and
Yeah.
and they had wheels on these things. I never saw anything like that before. And,
Wow.
And I think sometimes they use that for exercise. I was on it when I was in Lake Placid. They used to have the sled dogs come, and you could go for a ride. And I went with my two grandkids on the ice. And I mean, I met a lot of the guys, well, the owners of these dogs, and you should have seen them. They just couldn't wait to get out there.
Yeah, get
and
moving,
they
get
looked
going.
like they're, jumping around, happy looking,
Yeah.
and then.
Off they go.
Off, yeah.
All right, that'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in, as always. Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in today.
My pleasure.
All right, Ned Crew, thanks for coming in.
thanks for inviting me.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned at 9:30. Comes Gary Smith and the crew with Do You Remember on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. We take note that down in Washington, D.C., an appropriations bill released by Congress yesterday includes $350 million towards the replacement of the Cape Cod bridges, something long sought by Massachusetts officials. The money is included in the